vola angela o veteranu hoi tabua ag do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM nambando na sere
Bula alang gonoa ilutoka do talita ka na Bula FM berarti nambando na sere
ni Bula binaka nanreke ngosa Bula FM nga ena kasi
nalango samundo achiwe na Bula FM nambando na sere nusuri
ni Bula binaka nalango Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 and seri.
In the news tonight, drug users top mental illness cases at St. Giles Hospital. Landowners receive seed grant from TLTB profits. And water carting is high-cost service, says Minister.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Jackie Spate.
But first up, the Land Transport Authority has today set the record straight, highlighting that extensive consultations were done with the taxi operators before the taxi permit redraw was carried out in August. Chief Executive Samuel Simpson says the consultations were clearly highlighted by the media. His comment follows the 3 court cases by various taxi associations against the authority. There were 3 court cases brought against the LTA by the Nandi and Fiji taxi associations. 2 were dismissed. However, in the 3rd case, the court ruling called for the LTA to consult with the FTA before the next taxi lottery is held.
If we go back to May 2018, we had a couple of meetings with the Fiji Taxi Association. We met with the senior officials, and those officials were the president of the FTA, the vice president, and the General Secretary. So those are the top people in the Fiji Taxi Association. And they expressed general satisfaction with the consultation that we provided for at that particular time.
However, Fiji Taxi Association President Rabin Singh has refuted this.
The President of Fiji Taxi Association, nothing they had been discussed with us, nothing from the court order from the 31st of last month. Until now, none of them have been conversation with us, not CEO, none of his clerk, none of them.
80% of patients currently admitted to St. Giles Hospital were involved with drug use. Speaking to FBC News, St. Giles Medical Superintendent Dr. Kieran Gaikwad said this is worrying. Ali Kimbia with the story.
St. Giles Hospital has raised the red flag due to the escalation of drug-related cases treated at the hospital.
Before it was only marijuana, which people used to use, but now the new drug like meth has come in and it's rising day by day. And we are seeing the number of cases coming to us with substance use disorder are rising every year.
The use of various drugs has led to numerous cases of mental illness, and Dr. Gaikwad says they will take the first step to finding a solution.
So we are very much concerned about this problem, and that's why we have now decided to take steps further to start treating such patients. So as a first step, we have started alcohol and other drug counseling unit in St. Giles Hospital.
Minister for Health Dr. Wangai Nambete says Fiji is not the only one isolated with the problem.
Sadly, in Fiji, the abuse of marijuana affects our young people. So, it's been estimated that up to 20% of admissions that come through St. Giles are associated with marijuana.
The government has stated that it's taking big steps to root out this problem wherever it exists, because while recovery is immensely important, prevention is key. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Fiji Police Force is working with relevant stakeholders in the management, reporting, investigation and the prosecution of breaches of human rights by its officers. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio made this comment while presenting a progress on the Universal Periodic Report on Fiji's national reports at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. Pranita Prakash has more.
The police chief says they have a dedicated human rights cell under the Directorate of the Internal Affairs to investigate and report on complaints against officers on breach of human rights.
Further to this, we have also crafted a policy on the use of pepper spray for immediate implementation in association with our use of force policy. Training for this in all 5 policing divisions have been ongoing. Similarly,
Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio says they are also collecting data on the vulnerable groups.
In recognizing the importance of collecting data in relation to groups that are susceptible to vulnerability, we have started collecting data on LGBT and persons with disabilities.
United Nations representative in Geneva, Ambassador Nazat Shamim Khan, says Fiji has a strong constitutional provision to address any form of discrimination.
The Fijian Constitution has empowered the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission with an expanded anti-discrimination mandate to receive, investigate and take steps to secure appropriate redress if human rights have been violated, including making applications to court for redress or for other forms of relief or remedies.
Shamim stressed that Fiji remains committed to removing systematic and structural discrimination to allow every Fijian to realize their full potential. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says progress does not belong to only the elite of Fiji, but to all Fijians. He was speaking at the handover of $500,000 a seed grant from the Itauke Land Trust Board. Bainimarama commended landowners for having the foresight and vision to invest in their own land.
The Prime Minister has told landowners not to listen to anyone who may question these grants.
There are critics out there who will lie and say these seed funding grants are handouts or freebies. When they say that, they think they are insulting my government, but really they are insulting you, the hard-working people who want to make the most out of this opportunity.
Bainimarama says during consultations, landowners asked for capital to get their investment ideas off the ground, and so the TLTB seed grant came to be.
As hard-working Fijians such as yourself use this seed funding to start or expand your farms or launch other income-generating projects, you are creating opportunity and prosperity for yourselves, your families, your Matangalis, and our nation as a whole.
The grants will go towards starting small businesses, improving land for lease, and as deposits for commercial loans.
Some have gone a step ahead in terms of planning to subdivide their lands. So the challenge that they face is that there is no readily available funding that they have.
These grants come from TLTB profits. The board believes its benefits should be shared with resource owners. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Carting water is a high-cost service, and the Water Authority will only ensure supply goes out to communities in genuine need. Infrastructure Minister Chonio Somate, while highlighting recent water woes, also revealed that sometimes people call on WAF for supply due to other reasons. Kelly Vadala reports.
Thousands of Fijians along the Suvarnasari corridor were affected by water disruptions earlier this week, and many waited for water cutting trucks which did not turn up.
The cost of water cutting is quite high, but we need to make sure, the people's needs for water is something that's important to government, so where there's a genuine need, water will be provided. Sometimes people call up for all different kinds of reasons.
WEF's Acting General Manager Operations Ekovilo Nayao says they cannot supply water to all affected communities.
Currently, we have adequate trucks running and to assist these customers, but not to the extent that we can cater for all the needs of the customers.
Minister Chonu Samate says water has been restored to most Fijians that were affected since the weekend.
Most of the work has been done, and that water has been, I think 98% of the people that have been affected now are receiving the water back. And sometimes these things do happen. Water Authority has to make sure that it's their role to make sure that they're able to provide the water.
Technical staff from the Water Authority are currently working around the clock to restore water to places that still have no water, discolored water and low pressure. Kelly Bavala, FBC News.
Up ahead, global warming can be capped, suggests report. And Real Estate Act review to begin soon. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Shelai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic.
Global warming can be capped is among one of the key messages from the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's special report on 1.5 degrees Celsius. Lead author from the report of the Small States chapter, Dr. Morgan Wairui, says the science is clear that if carbon emissions aren't significantly reduced this decade, we face an uncertain future. Maggie Boyle reports.
Preaching to the converted, Dr. Morgan Wairui yet again expressing the dangers of global warming on our oceans.
One of the key messages coming out from the 1.5 report, that 70 to 90% of the coral reefs will be affected if we exceed the 1.5 degrees Celsius.
He says it's not completely a lost cause with a resolution in place.
So the report is quite clear in terms of the science. In order to cap the global average temperature at 1.5 degrees Celsius, then we need a net zero emissions by 2050 or 45% reduction in the greenhouse gases to 2010 level by 2030.
Prime Minister Varange Bainimarama, who has been at the forefront of climate discussions, calls climate change a global crisis. In contrast to the US President Donald Trump, who this week announced that they would be formally withdrawing from the Paris Accord. The science is clear, and with the next 10 years critical, the onus is on member states to lower their emissions and turn the clock back on climate change. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
With an increasing number of bogus agents, the Real Estate Agents Licensing Board is lacking powers to discipline and prosecute the agents. Board Chair Dr. Abdul Hassan says this has prompted them to review the Real Estate Agents Act 2006, which is 13 years old. Kritika Kumar reports.
Fijians will be invited to make submissions to the RealB as a review on the Act will begin soon.
We hope that we'll have a good response from the public, because they are the ones who are mostly affected by the law. They are maybe the victims of the law.
Chair Dr. Abdul Hassan says they aim to strengthen the provisions of the Act.
We know that in the last 4 or 5 years there has been a lot of development taking place in the country in terms of putting up the buildings and other improvements. And definitely, if we can manage to control our activities in the real estate sector through the legislation, and I'm sure we can achieve a great in terms of benefits that will go to the property owners.
The Compliance and Monitoring Team of RealB has suggested to get prosecution powers incorporated in the reviewed Act.
One of the major areas which the compliance team is facing major challenges are that the offences are not defined well.
The public consultations will begin on November 19th. From the West, Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Holding a senior position in a male-dominated workforce can be challenging, especially for women in the disciplined forces. 30 women from the 4 policing divisions are part of the Fiji Police Women's Network, where ways to overcome these challenges are discussed. Lena Rees reports.
Sergeant Francis Dovini Sanga, who has been serving in the force for 30 years, says that they still face gender issues.
Our male colleagues sometimes they tend to take the domestic settings into the workplace, which makes women second. But once we go through the workshop, it teaches us ways and means to sort of negotiate our way out so that they get the message and do things that we want them to do.
Despite the challenges, these women have stamped their mark and were praised for their achievements.
Certainly it would be good to talk about practical strategies to take the next step, but I also think we need to celebrate how far you have come. And these 2 days should also be a celebration of the diversity of thought and experience and leadership that you already bring to Fiji Police Force.
Meanwhile, the Women's Network is also aimed at enhancing knowledge and skills of the Fiji Police Force officers. Lena Rees, FBC News.
For any media organisation, the most important people are the audience. As the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation formally celebrates its 65th Sapphire anniversary, one lucky listener will win a significant prize of an 18-carat sapphire ring tomorrow night. Chief Executive Riaz Said Qayyum says after several weeks of competition, 12 finalists have been chosen from listeners of FBC's 6 radio stations. The finalists will be present at the company's anniversary celebrations, where the winner's name will be drawn by Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama. Said Qayyum says the $10,000 ring designed by FBC is the company's way of thanking its listeners and viewers.
You know, there are very few companies in Fiji that has lasted for 65 years, and we have. And we've been through a lot, and we're very proud of the fact that despite a lot of hurdles, we are where we are now as the premier broadcaster in the Pacific region.
And Kelly joins us now with the latest from business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break. Tourism agencies urged to follow advertisements. And in growing Fiji, market bylaws under review. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग कल मिर्ची FM सुनता. गोल्ड टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Tourism Minister has expressed disappointment towards tourism agencies that fail to provide services marketed through the brochures and flyers. Minister Pramil Kumar says while the agencies continue to market Fiji as a tourism destination, they should also ensure the services marketed are delivered. She stressed municipal councils also play an important role in marketing Fiji.
Sometimes when the cruise ships are here on a Sunday, the whole city is dead. There's nothing happening in the towns and cities.
And Sinifa from HFC Bank joins us with the latest from the stock market.
Let's look at the latest from the forex market. The US dollar was shackled against its major rivals today as lingering doubts about when the United States and China will sign a preliminary trade deal discouraged traders from taking big positions. The British pound sterling traded near a one-week low, awaiting the Bank of England meeting later today. No change in policy is expected, but investors are focused on how the bank will respond to uncertainties posed by Britain's fraught exit from the European Union. British inflation is near the Bank of England's 2% target, and updated forecasts tomorrow are likely to show it is expected to go higher over the next 2 to 3 years. That's normally a sign that the bank thinks a rate increase will be needed. Traders are also awaiting results of a British general election on December 12, which will determine whether the ruling Conservative Party can capture a majority in Parliament and conclude Brexit by the end of year deadline. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Naka.
Thanks, Sinifa. Here today's exchange rates as set this morning. It was a good day for the Fiji dollar against our two major trading partners as it rose against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars. However, the Sanghamoli slipped against the other currencies we cover as the foreign exchange markets remained volatile. The commodities market was mixed. Oil ended its climb, closing down at $56 per barrel. Gold rose $5 to $1,490 per ounce, and silver closed up at $17.62 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the existing market bylaws are being reviewed. This was revealed by the Minister for Local Government, Pramila Kumar, while speaking at the Market Vendors Association 2019 Awards Night in Nandi. Filipina Council has more.
Minister for Local Government Pramila Kumar last night stated the updating of the market bylaws will heavily include the input of the UN Women.
I have seen that the market bylaws differ from market to market. Each and every market has got its own market bylaws, and there's a lot of confusion within the bylaws, and that is creating a lot of dispute amongst the members. So a decision has been made, and UN Women will be helping the Ministry of Local Government.
A consultation will also be held with the vendors and relevant stakeholders to come to a consensus on the days and timings of the opening of the silver market.
We will be developing a tenancy agreement, and that will be signed by all the market vendors as soon as the regulations are developed.
Last night, market vendors around the country were also recognized for their continuous hard work.
I know that our perseverance all throughout the years have paid off, and it is important for the market vendors back home in Rikiraki because we have been through difficulties because of climate change.
The President Award was also won by the Rikiraki Market Vendors Association. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening in sports tonight. New players signed for Fiji and boxing treat for local fans. There's some more coming up.
Natango merea maramani waya manatuya sawa wetikitukutunde nandi ya undo marataka na varonga na Radio Fiji 1.
Yawa asna vatili yawa maga Monica. Tondo varonga vale bonar doma ibiti lambasa.
Bula natango aprosa ngarse ngor kraki do televio na varonga na Radio Fiji 1 na doma ibiti.
Natango tsani bukia ngoni na mosi ando taleta kana varonga na Radio Fiji 1 na doma ibiti so.
Radio Fiji 1 na doma.
Debutants Rusia Tematai, Kavekini Tambu and Simeone Kuruvoli managed to score in their first outing for the Fiji side at the Oceania Sevens tournament. Tambu scored 2 tries while Matai and Kuruvoli grabbed the try each as Fiji thumped Niue 57-0 in their first pool match today. Akuladama reports.
It was a family affair when brothers Sebuloni Modenathangi, Isoa and Kavekini Tambu officially played together for the first time in the national colors, and Gareth Baber spoke highly of them.
Look, they're all independent of each other. They've got great different point of difference when it comes to playing the game, and they've all got, 3 of them have got great work ethics. They're physical in everything they do. They're blessed with a natural skill level and a physicality that can frighten opposition. And we stay disciplined and stay at the work rates that we have got, and the 3 of them are close to being in those squads.
Kavekini scored 2 tries as he started the match with Isoa, and Modenathangi came on later. Even national under-20 halfback Simeone Kuruvoli was given a few tips by the world's best sevens player. Baber expects more from new players like Simeone Kuruvoli, Kavekini Tambu, and also Rusiati Matai as the tournament progresses.
It's early to tell on them. They've played 1 game for Fiji each, and obviously we want to see them in sort of tougher challenges than that. They both did their jobs well in this one, but obviously the challenge is when you're under pressure.
Meanwhile, Samoa had a tough hit-out in its first pool match against Papua New Guinea, but managed to pull through 33-7.
You've got to give credit to someone like PNG, mate. They've had a disruptive build-up, but they can play, and I've seen them push Fiji here at times when they've come here, and you never take them for granted. They just know the game, and of course they tested our guys, certainly defensively. New
Zealand was never really tested against New Caledonia, winning by 57 points to 0. The Oceania Sevens continues tomorrow at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Akuiladama, FBC Sports.
The 2019 Oceania Sevens kicked off with the Deaf tournament today at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. This was the first time a Deaf rugby tournament was part of the Oceania Sevens, which organizers say was a special moment for rugby in the region. Save Wanga with this report.
Being disabled on the rugby field can be a huge challenge, but despite this, these deaf players are taking advantage of the moment.
It's a really special moment for Oceania Rugby. Personally as well, it's it's so moving to see such a passionate group of young men achieve their dreams and playing international rugby for their nation. So it's been amazing.
Schuster adds that the deaf tournament will now be part of the Oceania Rugby Sevens.
We've said from the outset we'd like to keep this relationship and partnership during and providing that platform for our deaf athletes to participate. We'll look forward to some of those discussions after this tournament.
Fiji Nayula coach Moses Ekama says being part of the first deaf rugby tournament in Fiji will be a memorable experience for his side.
We are really happy that we have been part of this tournament. And we see that it really has helped us to develop us in a good way.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Totokia men's deaf side drew 5-all with Samoa in the first game this morning, while the Fiji Nayula beat Fiji Kia Koro 27-17 in the second. Tomorrow, Fiji Totokia face Fiji Kia Koro at 10 a.m., while Fiji Nayula meets Samoa at 10:22 a.m. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
The Fijiana Sevens got their Oceania Sevens campaign after a good start, beating Vanuatu 28-0 in their first match. The Fijiana led 10-0 at halftime, then gained momentum in the second half, maintaining a majority of possession. Coach Sayasi Fuli says while the result is good, there are still areas that need improving.
The first 3 minutes was a bit rusty. I know every first game, the first 2-3 minutes a bit rusty. Even though we maintain the possession and control the possession, we just needed to control the possession well and be clinical, and that's what we did in the second half, control the possession.
Meanwhile, the Fijiana will take on Solomon Islands at 12:50 p.m. tomorrow. Young Frank Lomani will play a senior role in the Flying Fijian squad preparing to take on the Barbarians. Coach John McKee says the 23-year-old has performed really well in the national setup so far. While only 4 players from Fiji's World Cup squad are part of this team, McKee believes the young side has what it takes to get the job done.
Going to the Barbarians, Frank's going to have to take much more of a leadership role around the team. So that's a challenge for those young players. But I've got real faith in them that they can step up.
Sonny Bill Williams, the new Toronto Rugby League teammates say his $10 million deal is worth every cent. Williams is expected to finalize his return to Rugby League within the next 48 hours. More boxing title fights will be hosted at Prince Charles Park in Nandi this month. Kiran Boxing Promotions have lined up a few big bouts, including an IBO title fight. Felipe Nakaso with the details.
The Kiran Boxing Promotions have lined up a cracker of a fight when Fiji's Sebastian Singh takes on Australian rising star Humas Khalid for the IBO Super Middleweight title.
And Sylvester is a very good boxer. He has been fighting for a long time, and it is the right time for him to become on IBO title. So if he goes to win this one here, he goes one further up, we will bring WBO into Fiji. And that will be Fiji citizens that is going to win again. And I'm pretty sure he can do that.
The promoters are confident that the title fights will attract boxing fans to Prince Charles Park.
It's the right time to come and support the local Fiji boxer who is defending his title from the overseas boxer coming from Australia. So it will be a very big fight, I would say, for Fiji. Likewise, the 3 title fight happening first time in Fiji, I would say.
In another interesting bout, Ronald Naidu will take on Cesar Ravundi for the vacant WBF Australasia Super Welterweight title.
This is a great opportunity for Fiji, the Fijian boxing fraternity, and I hope this has already brought the boxing to another height.
The fights will take place on the 30th of this month. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Manchester City held out for a 1-1 draw with Atalanta in the Champions League this morning. There was also a big win for Real Madrid. Today's play of the day comes from the Champions League match between Tottenham and Red Star. And while Tottenham won 4-0, they had to work extra hard to get the first one in the net. That's it from Sports Tonight. In new media, Google buys Fitbit for over $2 billion. That's coming up.
हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोज सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लेबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में
पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
There's a new player in the wearables market, and it's Google. The company shelled out $2.1 billion for Fitbit. Angie joins us now with weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a wonderful day, even though rain interrupted in the afternoon phase. Anyways, can you feel the long weekend approaching? Exciting times ahead. Looking at the west, clouds have increased and the night can expect light showers. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, cloudy with rain, heavy downpour is expected for tonight. And up north, basically, all the centers were cool and showers can be expected here as well. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide tonight will be at 10:22 with high tide at 4:24 am. Sunrise will be at 6:24. Looking at tomorrow, it's Friday. Super exciting because of course it's the weekend, but unfortunately it will be a drenching afternoon shower. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Savu will be cool at 28 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, light showers will continue. Well, there goes the weekend. And that's all the weather from the Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, do you think Fiji can retain its Oceania 7's title?
Yeah, I think we have a good chance. We have the home ground advantage, and we have a lot of new players with a lot of new ideas they bring to the field. So I think we have a good chance.
Yes, definitely. I'm pretty sure Fiji will definitely gonna defend. Yeah.
It's a build-up for the 7 series that's starting in Dubai next month. So we're really looking forward to the guys playing their game this weekend.
Fiji will win. Fiji good team.
I can win.
Fiji can win again this year. Go Fiji go.
Fiji can defend that title again this year.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, an artist has a love-hate relationship with plastic and recycles trash he finds on the streets into remarkable sculptures. Recapping the main stories for tonight, drug users top mental illness cases at St. Giles Hospital. Landowners receive seed grant from TLTB profits. And water carting is high-cost service, says Minister. For these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question, we're asking, should we have a nationwide measles vaccination campaign? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, captured in the Sugar City by Mohit Lal. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM, दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.